Hi. So today I have been living in the United States for 21 years. Um, I don't really post anything, but I've been getting this urge of starting to post stuff on YouTube so I can look back at it. So I figured today would be a good day to start that because like I said, it's been 21 years since I moved to the United States. I moved to the States back in May 31st, 2002, which is just a couple of days before I turned 2 years old. So I wanted to do this video to reflect a little bit more about things that I've accomplished and have done here that if my parents didn't decide to move to the States, I wouldn't have been able to do or accomplish. And basically those opportunities just wouldn't have been in sight at all if I were to live in Ecuador. So I have a little list here. There's no real particular order. I just figured instead of blabbing around, I should have a list so I can keep myself in pace, and that way my future self doesn't have to watch me continue blabbing as I'm doing right now. But anyway, so first things first, New York City. I definitely don't think I would be going into New York as much as I do if I were to live in Ecuador still. I live around an hour-ish away, and I've done so many things there, so to go into that, I can say my internship, so that's two. My internship in New York City, that was something that I always dreamed of. I always wanted to work there, and the thought of being able to have that opportunity of doing an internship there my senior year is honestly crazy, and I'm so grateful for it because I had so many great opportunities and was able to see so much of the city that I definitely, appreciate that, because I know that that's something that I wouldn't have been able to do if I were to be in Ecuador. For number three, continuing in the New York City realm of things, I can definitely say being part of the Flag Project wouldn't have happened if I lived in Ecuador, just because that's something that I knew because I went to the city so much, and that's also because I was able to take classes at Juilliard, so that's another thing to add to the list. Being able to go to Juilliard and take classes there and just learn music production and techniques was really cool, and something that I feel like I would have loved to do maybe, but it's something that I definitely wanted to do when I was younger, and so having that opportunity was definitely cool. Same thing with being able to dance at the New York City Ballet and taking not just one or two classes, but being able to take an immersive and do, a couple of days back to back. It was really cool. And same thing with being able to, how do I say this? Do entertainment things in New York. So being able to be an extra and be on TV. If I was in Ecuador, I feel like I could have still been on TV because I have been on TV in Ecuador because of my family, but being on TV for things that I enjoy doing and kind of crazy, because like the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting or New Year's Eve at the Rock in New York, being the background in different shows like People's Court or Beat Bobby Flay or some other ones that I had to do auctions for, that is something that I totally love, but I know it wouldn't have happened if I was in Ecuador. Then from that, entertainment and being on TV stuff, I can definitely start moving towards the traveling that I've done. Traveling is something that I love to do, and I feel like if I was in Ecuador, I still probably would have traveled, but not to all the countries I've been to thus far. I am only 22 years old right now when I'm recording this, and I've been to 25 countries, so that's a lot. At least that's a lot for me. I don't know, but that feels like a lot, and I can definitely say that if I was in Ecuador, I don't know how I would have gotten all those opportunities to be able to travel outside of the States. And also in the States itself, I've traveled to a lot of the states. I think only 10, 15, maybe 20, but I can definitely say that if I was living in Ecuador, I probably wouldn't have traveled as much. Maybe just to see family, but they all live in Connecticut or like Washington, Maryland. So it's a little different. From there, I can definitely say the extracurricular activities that I've done, being able to learn how to play different instruments, being able to do different art stuff, even the sports that I did, I know I probably wouldn't have done in Ecuador. I can definitely say I would have still learned how to play instruments or do some of the things that I did, but not at the same level as it is here. So definitely grateful for being part of the Norwalk Symphony. Definitely know I wasn't as grateful when I was in it, but looking back, I can definitely say thanks to that, I was able to go out of the country and play the violin in Europe, and being able to like have that kind of structure really developed me to who I am. So I'm really grateful for that, even though I might have realized it after the fact that I was in it. But another thing too is just like the religious opportunities that I've been able to have here, because I do help a lot at my local church, and just knowing that I've been able to sing at masses and sing at things that I didn't think of that I would do, because I don't know, the thought of being, or not being able to, but the thought of singing at a funeral and getting paid for it just feels really weird. But it's something that I know I've done, and I don't think I would have done that while being in Ecuador, because like I know my family does stuff with churches, but it's not like that, or like I don't think I would have felt comfortable doing that. But also the mission trip, like being able to help in Kentucky a year ago, I want to say, or almost 2 now, or I think it was just last year, but anyway, just knowing that I was able to like help someone, you know, build a house, but basically just add floors and drywall, like that's so cool to me, and being able to help someone in that way was something that I think I would have done in Ecuador, but it would have been a little different for sure. But it's something that I definitely keep close to my heart. And with that, it's like the other extracurricular activities that I've done. So, like I said, dance, sang, acted, played instruments. So all of that, I feel like I would have done, but not the same way that I did here. And then I think another thing too is like the hackathons that I did, and then another thing to add to the like list of 21 stuff is being able to study at Yale, or take courses, I guess you could say, because I did STEM classes for young women leaders, and it was really cool. And being able to like be at that campus and take classes in science, technology, engineering, and math, like it was really cool, and something that I would have hoped to do, I think, while I was in Ecuador, but it wouldn't have been as easy. Well, it wasn't easy to get into it, but easy in the sense of being able to get to New Haven and go to classes there and do all of that stuff. So definitely grateful for all of that. And then relationships, definitely grateful for all the relationships and all the people they've met. I know that obviously if I lived in Ecuador, I would have still been grateful for those relationships I would have made with other people. But I feel like the people that have come into my life and I've been able to be in paths with is something that I wouldn't want to change at all. There's one person that sticks out. It's La Señorita Katy, and I don't even know if she remembers who I am or like what the deal is, but that lady helped us out so much while we came into the States, because she would give me books, give my family like furniture, things that we might have needed, especially when we first started, like when we first moved over, because the story of that, as you know, we weren't going to stay in the States. Like that wasn't the case. Like that wasn't what was going to happen. But one thing led to another, and we did. So she like helped us out with putting furniture into our apartment, and like giving me toys because I was only 2. So like I didn't really realize what was happening. But yeah, like she's someone that like I definitely keep near my heart, and I really appreciate all that she's done, because it was at the beginning of it all, and if it wasn't for her, I mean, we would have figured it out, but she definitely made it a lot easier. Then from there, like I said, people. So she's a person that really sticks out to me, but there's so many more people that I'm just a reflection of, basically, because they either showed me a new spot to eat or taught me something that I still do to this day, or I watch a show and it makes me think of them, or I say something and it's the way that they say it. So there's just so much of that. And same thing with like my family. I'm grateful. I know I would have had my family regardless, in Ecuador or here in the States, but I feel like I wouldn't be as grateful for the ones that I spend time with as much as I do now, because I obviously spend time with them and they live here. But if I was in Ecuador, I still would have cared for them, but it would be a little different, because I can see how that's different when I'm in the States with my family from Ecuador. So I don't know, I'm just grateful for all of that. And then I think I have two more, or that's what I'm showing here, but graduating here, I definitely wouldn't have done that. I probably would have graduated in Ecuador and studied over there. Probably would want to study somewhere else, but I don't think I would have like come into the States to study because it's so expensive. So I'm definitely grateful that I graduated high school, and I'm grateful for the scholarships that I had, and I was able to take college classes in high school and get a degree without having to spend a penny. So definitely grateful for those opportunities and having that, even though at the time I was studying something I didn't really care for. So I might have not been as grateful as I am now. But reflecting in 21 years being here, I can definitely say that that's something that I wouldn't have done if I was in Ecuador, and I'm definitely grateful that it happened. And last but not least, the citizenship. So totally grateful for having citizenship. It took a while, but something that I know that not all immigrants are able to do. But I'm definitely grateful that we were able to, go from the visa to the green card to the citizenship. And that's just something that I have to thank my parents for, because I had no control. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I was in the States. So knowing that they were able to, get the funds for it and persevere in I don't want to say the right way, because I know it's very, very difficult to do, but I'm definitely grateful that we were able to have the citizenship after I turned, I want to say 16. We were able to be legal, or we were always legal, but like citizenship legal. And it made it easier for us to travel and have all the opportunities that I said as well, and a little bit easier because, for a job and all that stuff, having a citizenship definitely put a lot of stuff aside and made it very, very simple and opened up a lot more doors. So definitely grateful for that, and thankful for my mom and dad for everything that they've done. And with that being said, I think that's 21 things that I'm grateful for, but also realize that would have been completely different if I were to still live in Ecuador and not here. So with that being said, I hope you're having a great day, and I don't know when you're gonna watch this again. Talking to me, not to anybody else, but if I watch this when I'm like 25-year anniversary or 30-year anniversary, I wonder if there's anything else I find out, or if there's more things that I've accomplished that make me even more grateful that I'm living here. But other than that, love ya. Bye.